Welcome back to the BBA Sports YouTube channel. Today is day 10 of the NFL mock draft series with BBA Sports, and today is the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's see what they can do to help raise the floor of the defense to help Joe Burrow have more time and more flexibility to run the offense more smoothly. So let's get started. Hello there, my NFL mock draft fans. Today is day 10 of the NFL mock draft series with BBA Sports. Today is the Cincinnati Bengals, and let's get into it. Just a reminder, the Cincinnati's picks, they have one in the first round, 10th overall, a second, a third, a fourth, two sixths, and two sevenths. Don't forget about our ranking system with superstar, dependable starter, shaky starter, quality backup, fringe backup, and practice squad players. Without further ado, the Cincinnati Bengals first round pick is Avion Terrell, cornerback from Clemson. I have him as a dependable starter with a B plus overall. The Bengals defense needs a lot of help. Over the past several years, they have spent a lot of their time focusing on the offense. And even when they have focused on defense, it's not been in a very good situation. They've had a rough drafts these past several years since there are several good drafts in the early 2020s. But now it's time to draft some guys that have maybe not as high ceilings, but definitely higher floors to help the defense grow even better. Avion Terrell's my second rated cornerback coming into the draft. Not my second, uh, not my favorite cornerback, who is not my favorite athletic and favorite skilled cornerback, but my favorite cornerback that was healthy for a majority of the season. Avion Terrell is going to be a day one starter for the Cincinnati Bengals, um, helping be able to move some of those pieces around and have a decent and good quality um, defensive back room, and hopefully helping also that front of the line after losing some of their star edge rushers. Um, have a little bit more time to hopefully get to the quarterback. Their next pick comes in the second round, and that pick is Christian Miller, defensive tackle from Georgia, 41st overall. Another dependable starter with a B plus grade. He is my fourth ranked defensive lineman in the draft. And let's, other than Miles Murphy, who we'll see how he does, Jonathan Allen, who came in as a free agent, hopefully he does well. They also have Boye Mafi that they brought in. They also have Shamar Stewart that they drafted last year in the first round. So this is someone who can play on the interior offensive line with Jonathan Allen and Miles Murphy and BJ Hill, and hopefully learn under them for a little bit and take over the starting job either this year or in the future. Um, Christian Miller is a dominant pass rusher, but does need to work on his run defense. But that is Christian Miller. That is their second round pick. For their next pick, it comes from the third round, and that pick is Kamari Ramsey, safety from USC. Again, another dependable starter. He can play in both free safety and the nickel. He can play all around. He's not great but at anything at the moment, but he is good at a lot of different things, and that definitely provides a good floor for the Bengals defense. Again, in this mock draft, I'm going to be drafting heavily into the defense because they need a lot of help getting younger, getting raising the floor of the defense. Just a lot of different help is needed for the Bengals defense to get back to competing with a awesome offense with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, T. Higgins, um, the tight ends with Mike Gesicki. Really, again, a really high flying offense. They just need a defense to help them in those tougher situation games. Even if it's a decent defense, they're going to be competing in most games just because of the offense. So these past three picks is going to be definitely helpful, raising the floor and rate of the defense and giving Joe Burrow and company more time on the offense and not as much stress to hopefully get be a perfect offense, but more of a successful offense, if that makes sense. Their next pick comes from the fourth round, and that is Romelio Heights, edge from Texas Tech, 110th overall. This is a C, my opinion, with a quality backup ranking. I drafted him to another team earlier in this mock draft series. Um, but again, they have lost a lot of their star edges with um, in free agency and getting some new edge players that can hopefully they can build around. That they have Shamar Stewart and Boye Mafi that they brought in, and Miles Murphy. It's a lot of younger guys that need time on task, and hopefully the Bengals team can grow at this and adding another edge that can compete for playing time and be a high floor quality backup is going to be really helpful for this Bengals team. Their next pick comes from the sixth round, and that pick is Tyreek Sapp, edge from Florida, another edge defender with a quality backup. I gave this a B because it is in the later rounds, not because I feel like he is a technically better player than Romelio Height, but because, in my opinion, he did fall a little bit. A dominant pass rusher, not dominant, a quality, decently pass rush, quality, decent at being an edge defender, but he again, like what I said with Caleb Banks earlier, that the Florida defense was really hard to scout and everything because of how bad it truly was, and hopefully Tyreek Sapp can get to being a better edge defender into the future. Their next sixth round pick is Eric McAllister, wide receiver from TSU, a good quality backup receiver with a B rating overall. With his skills, I view him as a fourth, maybe fifth, a high four, maybe a low three wide receiver. But the problem is he's had a lot of off field problems, and that doesn't bode well. But hopefully, learning under Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, he can grow into a good, successful wide receiver three for them. But he definitely needs to clean up off the field stuff, and maybe going to a place like Cincinnati, Ohio, is going to be really helpful for McAllister to grow into a reliable wide receiver. Their next pick is Tristan Lay, offensive tackle from Clemson. I view him as a fringe backup. He has the tools, he has the size for it to be a good offensive tackle, but that Clemson team was terrible all around. The star players that we saw and were hopefully seeing in the first, maybe early second round are now going on in the third, fifth, and sixth rounds. And hopefully Tristan Lay can live up to some of that expectation that he had coming out of the 2024 season. But again, hopefully he can come back for that. But that whole Clemson team like fell apart in 2025. So we'll see what comes from it. Definitely a good pickup for in the seventh round. Again, this is the seventh round. This is the end of the draft. You're taking swings on players that have the skills and that have the things, but haven't put it all together. Had really bad seasons, or really bad injuries or real off the field problems, this is where you take those players, the sixth and the seventh rounds, in my opinion. Their last pick is Inez Cooper, offensive guard from Miami, a good quality backup, has size, has athleticism, has good power, has a um, good mentality of blocking the ball, but is my opinion um, needs a lot of work to become that quality backup. He's way too inconsistent in the run game. But again, I feel like this is really good for the Bengals because again, they're a very pass heavy team with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. And I feel like Inez Cooper can grow into being a quality backup and maybe a shaky starter for them if he can get some of that run game um, situational football into a better blocking system. Again, if it's just passing, if the NFL was only passing, I'd have him as a shaky or dependable starter. But his run defense is practice squad player worthy, so having him as a quality backup at the moment is potential is along the lines of what it needs to be for Inez Cooper. So that is the draft. Let's go look at the draft results. I gave this draft a B overall with three dependable starters, four quality backups, and one fringe backup. Avion Terrell, Christian Miller, Kamari Ramsey, Romelio Height, Tyreek Sapp, Eric McAllister, Tristan Lay, and Inez Cooper. Most of these picks are on the defensive side, especially, and all the higher ones are on the defensive side. One, Avion Terrell, Christian Miller, Kamari Ramsey, Romelio Height, Tyreek Sapp are all players on the defensive side of the ball. That's five versus three, and the three are on the bottom versus the five are on the top. Hopefully, this raises the floor of the Bengals defense and gives Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins uh, a better time on the offense. But this was day 10. Come back tomorrow for day 11 with the Miami Dolphins. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and like and subscribe below. Thank you for watching. See you all next time. Peace.